भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। ராம 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। With grateful pranams, in celebration of the grace that makes it possible for us to gather here and chant His powerful name, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Now, before I go on to the story and accentuate the point, the moral point that the story makes, I would like to make an announcement. From tomorrow, there will be no evening chant or satsang. Instead, we have our Sri Nochu Swami's lectures on Shivanubhavam from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. That is from tomorrow, the 12th, it would go on till the 18th, the Shivaratri day, the concluding day of Shivanubhavam. There will be chanting in the morning and no satsang. Every day morning there will be satsang as usual. There will be chanting as usual, 6 to 7. Now we shall go on to the story that teaches us something that our Bhagavan always insisted upon. It's a story from Swami Shivananda, a very fruitful story, I should say, because it hits us with a certain force that we cannot miss the point it makes. There was a poor man who made it his profession to walk a long distance and go to the forest. He would cut the trees and burn the logs into charcoal. Then he would go into the town, sell it, and make money. And that's how he earned the little that he could. He did not mind being poor. He was very happy. He always spoke the truth. He was a devotee. That's okay. Every day he did not mind walking so much distance to go to the forest to do his work. Several days passed. Somehow, the king of the country came to know about this man, always speaking the truth and very pious, and always happy with his little job, which was truly hard work. So he wanted to reward this man. He called him to the court and said, "You are very poor and yet you speak the truth and you are very pious. You are devoted to God. So I would like to present you. There is a forest nearby. You don't have to walk so long. And it's full of sandalwood trees, not just ordinary trees that you cut there. I would like to gift it to you so that you can become very rich and you don't have to suffer this poverty. You don't have to walk long distances and do the hard work of cutting the trees." So the king took him to the nearby sandalwood forest and offered the great gift to him, hoping that he would soon become rich and wouldn't have to suffer from poverty. But this little ignorant man, he didn't think much of this sandalwood tree. He had no idea what the tree was all about. As usual, he was very happy that he didn't have to walk so long. He would go and cut the tree, burn it into charcoal, and then go to the town to sell it. And he was earning the same money which he was earning before. The sandalwood tree did not make any difference to him, because every day he would cut it into logs of wood and burn them into charcoal. So after quite some time, when of course he had almost exhausted the sandalwood forest, there were only 1 or 2 trees left. The king suddenly took it into his head to go and find out how this man was faring. When he came to see this man, he was shocked. The forest was almost empty, and the man still lived in that poor kutir. And there was no sign of richness at all. Now the king became curious. He was also angry, he was wild that those sandalwood trees had been cut off. He approached this poor man and asked him, "What did you do? Those priceless trees. Why are you asking? I'm doing the same thing. I just cut them into logs of wood, burn them into charcoal, and sell them." He said, "My God, what have you done? I gave you sandalwood trees. They are not ordinary trees. Even one tree, if you cut them to logs of wood and sell them as they are, you would have made a lot of money. They are sandalwood trees. They are not ordinary trees. And you have to burn it into charcoal? What have you done?" The king was shocked beyond words. Now Swami Shivananda concludes the story like this. He says, God has given us this body and put life in it, the in-breath and out-breath. He's sustaining. He not only puts it, he sustains it. This precious in-breath and out-breath is like the sandalwood tree. And every in-breath and out-breath is consuming time. So the time goes on with the breathing. And those of us who are alive with this in-breath and out-breath, what do? We have the purpose of life. We are not holding the purpose of life in view. And what is the purpose of life? To remember God. God has given this body and put life in it and is sustaining it. And yet, we spend all our time in talking about this and that, all that is unwanted. We indulge in the pleasures of the world and we spoil the time. Swami Shivananda says, it's like cutting the sandalwood tree into logs and burning them into charcoal. When God has given you the precious body and the precious life in it, you are expected to remember God and make the best of your life. Bhagwan Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar used to say, God is the goal of everybody's life, no matter where you live. In Alaska or Australia, God is the only goal of life. There is no other goal. To attain God is very difficult, it's not in our hands. But to remember God is in our hands. As we identify ourselves with the body and say that I am thinking, I am talking, I am doing, I have to make self-effort to remember God. Bhagwan said, remembering the name is remembering God, and remembering God is living in God. Our Bhagwan used to say very strongly, it's only when you remember God, you truly live. When you forget God, you are dead. You carry a body which is still breathing, and yet you're carrying a dead body because it's not serving the purpose of life, which is remembrance of God. It's like cutting the sandalwood tree and burning it into charcoal. Every breath matters. Every breath is precious. And what do? Talking about this and that, and making life comfortable, and then we slog to earn money, to make our life comfortable. And there is very little God thought in our daily life. This is equivalent to burning a sandalwood tree into charcoal and selling it. So we all lead a very poor life because there is absence of remembrance of God. Our Bhagwan used to say, remembering God is dharma, forgetting God is adharma. What a strong statement. So let us remember to remember God, to bring God into our daily life. What is the use of a philosophy if you cannot translate it into your daily life? Our Bhagwan has prescribed the Nama chanting, the easiest and the highest. So let us take to Nama chanting vigorously and rigorously as much as possible in our daily routine, so that it would not be a drudgery, and every day will be a happy day, a special day, because we are connecting with God, with everything that is in our routine life. Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar Bhagwan used to say that you are only an instrument in the hands of God. I remember way back in Sudama, when I chanted the name the whole night, and the first day, early morning, when I reported that I had done, and I reported jubilantly, that I had done 20,000 namas the whole night. With great difficulty I kept up and chanted 20,000. I was very excited about it, and then I offered it to him. But then there was no happy reaction from him. Instead, he frowned. He looked very stern, and I was very upset. What is this? I thought I had achieved something. It's not easy to keep awake the whole night, despite the weaknesses. But then here, Bhagwan was reacting negatively. And then Bhagwan said, Devaki, it is no use if you say that you were doing the chanting. Do you think you can do it? It is my Father which made it possible. It's my Father's grace which made it possible. It's my Father who made you do it. Never say, I did it. What a lesson. This applies to all actions, that we are not we cannot do. Though it looks that we are thinking, we are talking, we are doing everything, it is the grace that's behind it which makes it possible for us. But for the presence of God inside us, there will be no life in it, there will be no breathing. It is He who sustains the breath. And it's because there is breath in the body, the brain works, the eyes see, the ears hear, the body functions. And so who is the doer? It is the presence that makes it possible at all. So He is the only doer and we are only instruments in His hands. So we have to remember these important teachings of our Bhagavan. Remember the name. It's only while you remember the name, you truly live. So we have to live the way we are expected to live. And that is, do the Nama chanting to the best of our ability and as much as possible. And remember that we are only instruments in His hands and that even our Nama chanting is being done by Him. That we are not doing anything, we are not the doers at all. He makes it possible, so He is the only doer. So if we do that, let's keep on chanting as much as possible. And even while chanting, we should remember that we are only instruments. It's He who is making it possible. Then every day would be a great day, a happy day, because we are able to connect with God, even while living an ordinary life. So how do we bring God into our daily life? For the ladies, while you cook, you can keep on chanting the name and say, God, I'm cooking for you. I'm keeping this house only for your sake. This, my house, is not my house, it's your house. And whatever I do here is for your sake. Then all the work that you do at home becomes puja to Him. And men who go to the office or the workplace, even the workplace belongs to God. He's the boss there. So whatever work you do in the workplace is His work. So realizing this, if you do it as seva to Him and with joy, then the whole day's work at the workplace, at the office, would become a puja to Him, a greater puja than just plucking the flowers and putting on at the feet. So let us fill our days with the Nama chanting and actions and offer them constantly to His feet, so that at the end of the day our karmic sheet would be clean. We shall now offer our today's prayer. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again, for that's all we can do, and we do it 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention to change the present way of the world, which is full of violence and growing enmity. There is already the war that's going on. We beg you to bring in peace, harmony, and order where there is so much chaos and disharmony. Bhagavan, we beg you to stop this war and let peace prevail. We also beg you to bring under control those vicious diseases that attack us unawares. And of course, there is this violence of nature that we saw 3 days back what happened in Syria and Turkey. Thousands of people, more than 20,000, have died already, and thousands are under great stress with wounds and battling with life. Bhagavan, we beg you to reach out to them all and do the needful. We also beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world. We beg you again to reach out to all those people who are stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, because of their past karma, suffering without help or protection. We beg you once again to reach out to them and do the needful. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who are slogging for the welfare of others from unhealthy reproaches and aspersion. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach that high status of Vishwaguru and would lead the whole world in the path of Dharma. We beg you and pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your powerful divine name, an unbroken remembrance of your Leelas and teachings, so that we assimilate it and make it into Atma Shakti. Bhagavan, we beg you to bless us to be only sattvic instruments in your hands. We don't want to be Rakshasas and Rakshasis. Please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be caught by the snares of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of bliss and peace, but then we need to be purified. There is so much fear, killer fear, anger, passion, sorrow, jealousy, and growing desires for worldly possessions. All these are dirt of the mind. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and joyful, ceaseless chanting of it, so that the Nama would destroy our past sins and purify us, will prevent us from further sins also. We take refuge in ceaseless, joyful service to you, wherever we live in the world, whatever work falls into our hand. They are all your work, and we have to do it in the spirit of seva to you, and that without unhealthy competition or jealousy, that all this would make into Atma Shakti. Bhagavan, please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing meant for our spiritual growth. If we do not suffer in life, we would never turn to God. And then it will be once again like that poor man who burnt the sandalwood into charcoal. That's what most of us, 99% of people, in ignorance, doing it. Bhagavan, we know that if we look upon every suffering as a blessing from you, it would also soon reveal itself how it is a blessing. As we get more and more purified, we should be able to feel your living, vibrant presence everywhere and in everything. Please bless us. Bestow upon us that grace which would make us realize that your will is behind all the happenings of life, all the happenings of the world. And whenever we are attacked by some past bad karma, everything begins to go wrong. Everything misfires. And then we begin to resent God and His grace and put the blame on others for our own failures. And we want to move away from God, little realizing that we have invited it by our past karmas. But then you, very compassionate and generous as you are, would see to it that we don't move away from you. And you have promised that all the adversities of life, for those who chant your name and do your seva, your Father would convert into great blessings. Please bless us to be grateful to you all the time. We also seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek that liberation. We seek that dissolution. Dissolution of what? We who have been seeking only solutions to our endless problems all through life, seek now dissolution of that which is the basic for the vicious cycle of births and deaths, the tyranny of the ego, the I and mine, the aham bhavam. Bhagavan, please bless us to be free from this so that it would become atma bhavam. Please bless us with that immortal life, that eternal living and eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ram Saritma.